Okay, good morning, everybody. We are just responding right now to a incredible bomb threat. There's a device right outside our new fire headquarters, just right behind us. It really is seeming like a bigger deal than it probably is for most of the public, because we've had to close all lanes of Tower Avenue going north and south. That will be for the next few hours as we wait for the state bomb squad to arrive. There is no threat that we know of to the surrounding area other than those places that we have actually evacuated, which includes the fire hall itself, and there's a dentist's office right next door. We've notified the surrounding businesses. Everybody here should be safe, and business should be going on as usual. I just want to say a quick few thank yous to the quick action of Fire Chief Scott Gordon. This is literally his first day. A couple hours in, he's done a great job in responding to this. This was a citizen tip about an incident outside, about this device that was outside the fire hall. So we were very grateful to that person that reported this. This is a reminder to the rest of the public that if you see something that looks suspicious to you, please call 911 right away. Inform our first responders so that can respond very quickly. Nobody is going to get injured today because of that, the quick actions of that regular citizen and our fire department. I also want to thank Police Chief Nick Alexander. His department is in command of the scene right now and is doing a great job of securing the scene, protecting surrounding businesses. So right now, I want to turn it over to my chiefs and have them add anything that I'm missing, and then we'll turn it over for questions. Chief Gordon.
Yes,
welcome
good morning.
aboard.
Yes, good morning. Heck of a first day. So when this first started, we did what we want everyone else to do, which is call 911. It sounds kind of strange that a fire department will call 911. We recognized immediately this is outside of our scope. We did wheel a vehicle out onto the street, which you see parked out there still. Our idea was to get people to drive around the device that's on the sidewalk, and then also to notify people that it's there. Police department showed up. They took care of the securing the scene behind that. We have not stopped going on calls. There have actually been a couple of calls that have happened since then. Want to make sure the public knows that, yes, we did move our personnel out of the fire station, still responding to all 911 calls.
Chief Alexander.
Obviously, Tower Avenue is closed off, north and southbound lanes. Certainly an inconvenience to the public, but one, people should know nobody's at risk here. As long as you avoid the areas that we have cordoned off, everybody's safe. Secondly, we don't know what the device is. We have a bomb squad responding from Marathon County. They have the equipment and the expertise to be able to deal with it, identify it, and to disable it if it is some sort of explosive device. In the meantime, we've used some of our heavy armor to kind of shield it in case something were to happen. So those are kind of the big points to remember. Yes, it's an inconvenience if the street's shut down, but it's necessary to ensure the safety of our public safety employees as we adequately deal with this. And we hope that, by later afternoon, that the device will have been cleared from the area and we'll be able to resume normal traffic.
I just finally want to say thank you. We're holding this press conference right outside of Grizzlies. We've been able to stage at that Grizzlies lot just for this press conference, so I'm grateful to them. I would point out all these businesses along the frontage road on Tower Avenue are open, and it's lunchtime, so feel free to avoid the area, but we hope that you come down and show your gratitude to these businesses that got a little bit put out today. Can any of us answer any questions?
I know the investigation is still kind of early, but do you have any idea where the actual bomb may have come from?
Chief?
At this point, we don't have any information like that. It's the beginning steps of the investigation. The priority at the beginning is the safety of the community. So we'll deal with that first, and then we'll proceed with an investigation after.
Chief, Matt Marcon said in the press release it's a possible suspicious homemade explosive device. You're saying you're not exactly sure this nature of it. Are you able to confirm that this is actually a homemade explosive device at this time?
We can't confirm that until the bomb squad, were to arrive, where they can X-ray it and they have other equipment to be able to identify it. I mean, we certainly can tell from what we see right now that has the appearance of something that could be an improvised device. Whether it is or not, that'll be determined later, but it's important in the beginning to treat it as if it is and go from there.
Okay, Fire Chief, I know this is your first day, but tell me how you're feeling about basically the quick action that you took to make sure that your firefighters were safe.
Pretty good, actually. The whole process has been going as we train. We train for these kind of events on a regular basis, and unfortunately, we've all had training them in real life, which is how we know how to position the media here. We've got new information as quickly as we can. Internally, we did exactly what we practice doing. We go back to doing our jobs: notification, secure, and evacuate.
Where is the Marathon County Bomb Squad right now? Any idea how far out they are?
I'm not sure how far out they were. I mean, they were notified probably within the first half hour of us becoming aware of the incident. They obviously have to mobilize, get their equipment and staff together, and then start traveling. You know, that's in the general Wausau area, which puts them, 3-4 hours out from the time they leave. I expect that they're already on the road and that they should arrive here by early to mid-afternoon.
And Chief Alexander, this isn't the first time you've had bomb scares or threats here in the city. And several years ago, there was talk of maybe having a regional bomb squad because the nearest one is so far away. And in the past, I believe the Minnesota Air National Guard has responded, but that's not the case anymore.
That's not the case anymore. Obviously, we're dealing with two states here, the state of Wisconsin and the state of Minnesota. The state of Wisconsin, their equivalent to an adjutant general, decides, what their National Guard is allowed to respond to. And under that current administration, they're not allowed to come here to deal with an incident in Superior. So we utilize Wisconsin Emergency Management's protocol of using the state-sponsored bomb response teams. There is ongoing talks, with Duluth PD and us about the idea of creating a regional response team, but as with anything new, it's expensive. The equipment is expensive. The training is expensive. So, I mean, there are obstacles that would have to be overcome for us to have that as a local resource.
Is that something you would like to see?
Well, it certainly, you look at an event like this, I mean, there is a cost to waiting for another team to respond in terms of the cost of the businesses, the inconvenience of the community, staff hours to secure and maintain the scene until they can arrive. So obviously having it would be, a benefit.
And it's important to remember that is the disruption. The closing one of our major highways and through streets in Superior is what's causing the problem today. That's why we're having a press conference. If we had a regional bomb squad, it would be this could be a relatively minor affair.
Okay, Chief Alexander, you said it was a citizen tip, but how did they even come about this whole of noticing this bomb?
My understanding as a passerby, I believe they were on a bicycle, possibly a pedestrian, saw the device that looked suspicious on the sidewalk and went to the fire department and notified the fire department staff of the object.
And Chief, is this something that, you said you're still figuring out the scope of it, but could this go off?
Well, I'm not a munitions expert. I think anything that that looks or appears to be an explosive could go off. It could very well be that it's inert or harmless, but at this point we just don't know. That's why we've taken precautions to kind of isolate the area, put some armor around it to make it as safe as possible.
What criteria constitutes a credible threat? What about it, its appearance, makes you take a step to calling a bomb squad in?
I think everybody can think of images that they've seen, whether on the news or online, of what homemade explosive devices look like. This is a pipe-shaped object that's sealed on one end, has the potential of having a fuse on the other end. So, I think it's reasonable for an average person to look at this device and say, hey, that could be explosive.
I was speaking with Chief Gordon earlier today, and he specified how much potential damage this could do if it was indeed an explosive device. I'm wondering, I guess, how we know that and how we know what it could or cannot do at this point.
I think those are known questions.
Okay.
But you don't think that the hospital or any of the other surrounding buildings in the school are at any risk?
I think we're making reasonable judgments based off of the size and the object of itself to determine, what's safe distances to stay away.
What is the size of, so how big is it?
It's approximately maybe about a foot long piece of pipe.
Other questions?
Anything else you guys would like to share?
I believe we will probably release an image. We'll attach it to a press release just so people can get an idea of what the object looks like. I think some of you can probably zoom in on it with cameras or so on from here. So we'll give you an image that looks a little bit better, and I think it'll satisfy people's curiosity that it's fair to assume that this could be an object that could cause some harm. So this response is reasonable.
We hope the next news you hear from us is just the all clear. Other questions? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Well done.